is going on with the New York Mets? Are they falling behind? To me, it seems that the Mets got one of the biggest fishes you can get. They got a superstar for years to come. They got Juan Soto. But after that, there hasn't been much big moves that the Mets have made. And I didn't expect the Mets to, spend like drunken sailors. I didn't expect that. But what I did expect is to make this team better. Now, overall, the moves has been Juan Soto, Jesse Winker, AJ Minter. When it comes to these guys, those guys, I like the additions. Jesse Winker, to me, he's better than JD Martinez, now, and he's better than Daniel Vogelback. But honestly, he isn't a great DH. He isn't going to be a big power guy. He's going to be a good on-base guy, but he's not going to really, hit you 25 home runs, 30 home. That's not going to happen. That's not what you're going to get from Jesse Winker because he's not that type of player really anymore. He's more of an on-base guy. And it's something that has to be addressed. It has to be said because when it comes to the Mets, they got Juan Soto. They got AJ Minter. AJ Minter's a great pickup. I like AJ Minter. He's a good pitcher. It's a 2-year deal. I think he can opt out after the first year, which is great. But after that, there needs to be something. The Mets, the New York Mets, they should have gone after Walker Buehler and signed Walker Buehler. I think pitching is definitely unnecessary. It's very necessary. Pitching is very necessary. And now you got Kodai Senga. Maybe a healthy Kodai Senga, who knows? You don't know what you're going to get from Kodai Senga. So that's your first starter. Then you got Sean Manaea, who you signed. I like the signing. Sean Manaea isn't an ace, but he definitely pitched really, really good. He did. And he looked like an ace for a certain amount of months. So Sean Manaea, Kodai Senga, I like it. But after that, what do you have? You have Clay Holmes, Frankie Montas, Griffin Canning. Oh, let me not forget David Peterson. Let me put David Peterson in the third spot. David Peterson. So you got Kodai Senga as your first starter. You got, Sean Manaea, and then you got David Peterson. David Peterson, to me, proved that he can be a big-time starter for this team. He proved that he can be what I thought he was going to be when he got drafted. A first-round draft pick. So then you got Clay Holmes. Now, Clay Holmes is your, fourth starter? Clay Holmes is your fourth starter. Frankie Montas is your fifth starter. Now, Griffin Canning, I think, is going to be a bullpen guy, or maybe he'll be like a depth guy. I don't see him being, a big starter, big part of this rotation, to be honest. But what I want to talk about is, are the Mets falling behind? Are the Mets falling behind? You got the Dodgers making every single move that you could possibly make. And I'm not saying the Mets need to be the Dodgers. But when it comes to Steve Cohen, he wants to make this team better. You just landed one of the biggest superstars there is to come. Probably the biggest superstar, Juan Soto, in some time. And Juan Soto is amazing. I love that the Mets landed Juan Soto. But now you had to do more after that move. You had to, when I thought the Mets got Juan Soto, I thought they were going to be all in. I thought they were going to go for Walker Buehler. I thought they were going to go for Anthony Santander. I thought they were going to, definitely not spend like a drunken sailor, but just make more big moves. And the only really big move is Sean Manaea. Jesse Winker's not a big move. AJ Minter is probably one of the biggest moves that they made, but because it was very necessary in the bullpen. Edwin Diaz needs help. The bullpen needs help. The bullpen looked not great last year, and definitely it was a disadvantage for the New York Mets. They didn't have a real lefty. They had Danny Young. They had Alex Young. They didn't have a real lefty that can go at it with a guy like Bryce Harper, with an Ohtani, with Matt Olson. They didn't have that. Danny Young did his thing. Alex Young did his thing, but now you got AJ Minter. So now you have a real lefty. He's not really a lefty specialist, but definitely he is a good lefty. And I like him. I like him a lot. So, are the Mets falling behind? To me, It's just tough. It's tough to see because last year in the offseason, in the 2024 offseason, you did see the Mets not make so many moves. They tried to go after Yamamoto. It didn't work out. They tried to do different things, but they didn't really go after the big fishes. So when it comes to the Mets, you thought this offseason was going to be very, very important. And like I said, you landed one of the biggest superstars there is, Juan Soto, and that is amazing. That is great. That is great for the team. That is great for the team's future. But what else do you have? Like, why? Like, I get you don't want to go after, you don't want to go after Corbin Burnes. That is fine with me. Corbin Burnes, if you don't want to go after Corbin Burnes, that's completely fine. But Walker Buehler, what he signed for with Boston, you should have went after him even more. And they were interested in Walker Buehler, but they couldn't get a deal done with him. Nathan Eovaldi was going to go back to the Texas Rangers, so, I thought that would have been a good fit. You still got Nick Pivetta on the table, but Nick Pivetta is, not so great. Has some upside, but it's like the Mets, to me, and I don't want to overreact, but to me, we need to do more. The Mets need to do more. And let's talk about Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, Pete Alonso situation, me personally, I'm not the greatest fond person of Pete Alonso. I don't think that he is that amazing anymore. I think when he first came up, he was hitting bombs. He hit you 53 home runs in his rookie year. And that was amazing. And then there was another season that he did. He had a really good season as well. But the balls were juiced. So, but Pete Alonso, fairness to say, Pete Alonso has been a guy that can hit you 30 home runs every single year. So that's what I will say about Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso isn't going to be your greatest defender. He isn't going to, be your fastest player. He's definitely valuable, but is he worth $100 million 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? To me, no. To me, he's not. So I'm okay with the Mets not having Pete Alonso in 2025. Now, if they do get him, if there's still a chance to get Pete Alonso on a short-term contract, I'll take it. I would love it because Pete Alonso does offer protection for Juan Soto. But I think with 2025, we have very, very exciting players that are going to be available, to play for our team. And that is going to be Acuna, Luis Angel Acuna. And then you got Ronnie Mauricio, who I've been waiting for. Ronnie Mauricio is a guy I've been waiting for. I've been excited about. And these guys are going to be your future. These guys are going to be very, very important to, your future. Mark Vientos has already solidified himself. And I mean solidified himself, with the team. Because he had a great, great first year that he actually played, baseball. Like he actually got the chance to play baseball. Not with the Buck Showalter, no, but with Carlos Mendoza. He actually got a chance in 2024, and he had a really good season, man. He was one of your best players offensively. He was one of your best players in the postseason. So Mark Vientos has solidified himself. He really has. Now, what is he going to do in his sophomore year? I don't know. But definitely, the New York Mets, I don't know if they're falling behind, but to me, the pitching and the bullpen has to be addressed. Has to be addressed. The Mets should be going for, pitching. Again, they should still be going for pitching. And they should still go after the bullpen. They should still be going, this Pete Alonso situation shouldn't hold you back. In my opinion, it shouldn't hold you back. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that the Mets are falling behind? Do you guys think that the Mets are just fine? And are Mets fans overreacting to the Mets situation? Are Mets overreacting to the Dodgers getting everybody? That is something that, let me know in the comments what you guys think, because to me, 2025 is a big year for the Mets. And I've said it from a year ago, that I thought Jeff McNeil wasn't even going to be with this team in 2025. Or I thought he was going to be relegated to the outfield or being a bench player. And having guys like Acuna and Mauricio and your young guys being the foundation for this team. That's how I think it should be. I think Jeff McNeil should be somewhere in the outfield or a bench player. That's what I think. And I think Acuna and Mauricio, Acuna at second base, Mauricio at third, Vientos at first. That is what I think should happen. Now, Mauricio, you don't know if he's going to be healthy, going into spring training, going into the season. So it's kind of hard to bet on that as well. But what I will say is the Mets need to get better. They need to get better, and I hope that they do. That is going to be the video. If you enjoyed, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are awesome. Have a good one. And yeah, man, I'm back to making consistent videos again. So stay tuned. Let's go Mets. This has been Randy with the All Things Mets channel. I'm out of here.